light over
They
here.
got the funky lights.
The overhead joint.
Getting the lighting right.
That's not much light, but something.
I like it, son. You look like you motherfuckers are in an aquarium. I dig it, though. I don't know, man. I got one of those lame-ass ring lights for like $30 on Amazon.
Oh, no, those things, that's the fucking Instagram model's dream right there. So
I know, man. I know. I sold out. I had to get one. Well, it's just honestly, it's just good portable lighting. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, this shit was dumb cheap on Amazon, so whatever.
Yeah, we'll leave it like that because the blue light did look a little crazy. That shit has like Smurfs.
No, I like it, son. I said the aquarium look. All right, let's get into it. All right, guys, we are back. Welcome to the Ready, Set, Blow podcast, episode 290, with my brother G-Dubs and Lord Prezy. What's going on, fellas?
No.
What's up? You guys are laughing about some fool on the internet with some bullshit ass rhyme.
No, we don't want to blow him up. We know him. So that's
you know the guy.
That's what made it even better.
That's made it even funnier.
All right. then we shall not repeat what that guy was up to.
That's all people.
Oh man.
Just got off a plane from Florida. Well, Jess, you've been traveling a little bit. Where you been, bro?
I've been traveling north. I've been taking my ass to work. That's why I've been traveling.
I thought I saw you were out with Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean, we were upstate during that time, but yeah, that wasn't.
It wasn't like anything far.
Yeah, we didn't go nowhere far. Not like that.
Just got off a plane.
Her birthday was past. Happy birthday to her.
Yeah, happy birthday, Elizabeth. That's 2 weeks in a row I'm recording the podcast coming fresh off a plane, and I try not to do that. Because the flight back always fucks me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's usually a long weekend of shows and a good time. But you know this, Jesse. I'm curious if you do the same thing I do. Same thing with you, Prezy. Like, you ever go on a trip and then you can't really take like a good, enjoyable shit till you get back to your home bowl?
Yeah, definitely.
Am I bugging out? Is that like not a thing? Like, I feel like because I was complaining about it all weekend to Jeff, and I feel like I'm the only one that has a problem shitting outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I felt like that on a Carnival cruise, all right?
Damn, so how long was the cruise you were on?
A week. That shit was the worst.
I did one cruise ship with Jeff, and we got off on the first port and flew out. We said, fuck this. We did the shows and left. We could stay for the week, but I feel like you get trapped in those fucking things, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do those shit. I feel like you get trapped on that thing. You can't go nowhere. I'd fucking get claustrophobic on those things.
You're basically a fish in a tank.
Yeah, exactly.
Old ass room. Terrible.
I know, son, especially all these COVID outbreaks.
What were you shows out there in Florida? Yeah,
I was out in West Palm Beach in the West Palm Beach Improv. So shout out to them for having me. Thank you so much. Had a blast. Did 4 shows. We were filling in for Bob Saget. Rest in peace. Nice. Those dates opened up, so I guess his demise it's worked out for me. But I don't want to be rude. I love the guy. I love I've heard nothing but nice things, and then, of course I was a big Full House fan. But clearly that show wasn't written right. Like 3 single guys living together in San Francisco, they were gay, right? I mean, like it's gotta be. Am I bugging?
Nah, absolutely. That makes sense.
Especially John Stamos looking as good as he did. One of those guys was fucking him. You know what I'm saying? He was a handsome man. He still looks good. Have you seen John Stamos lately? That motherfucker doesn't age, son. I don't know what he's doing.
He was in a cryo chamber in that basement.
Yeah, you know what else is popular out here too? Those anti-aging clinics. All those motherfuckers get on HGH. I'm not saying that it's John Stamos is, but I know they're super popular out here in Los Angeles, son.
Bro, if I had $1,000 a month for that shit, I'd do that shit too.
Yeah, exactly. If I had John Stamos bread, I'd be on all that shit too.
Yeah, dude, if I had the bread, I'd definitely spend it.
You know what else is big out here, son? Anal bleaching.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, yeah. You guys are like, yeah. And if you think of, like, have you ever looked at your own asshole? Like, I couldn't even tell you if mine was brown or not.
Yeah, I can't get back there.
I can't get back there.
Not that flexible.
Prezy tries every night, so he's doing yoga to try to get up in his own asshole.
That's hilarious. No, I've never seen my own asshole.
I want, like, I'm almost interested. Should I, set the timer on my phone and see if I can't snap a picture of that shit?
Take a selfie, son. Take a selfie of your asshole.
You gotta get one of them like.
Yeah.
And instead of sending dick pics for Valentine's Day, I'll send just pictures of my fucking hairy asshole.
Use your new ring light. Like that bitch up, son.
Oh.
I should have looked bleach using that ring light.
Yeah, so I brighten it up. Get some color. There's got to be dudes out there that are photoshopping their and chicks that are photoshopping their asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe I could touch up mine a little bit. But nah, gotta shave it first. But I got off the plane, was able to take a nice home shit, and I'm glad I could speak to you two folks. But bro, listen to this shit on the fucking airplane. Talk about people bugging out. So you know how like on the airplane, I'm on the window seat, and like sometimes the windows line up perfect, sometimes they don't. But I would say 9/10 of this window is on my shit. Yeah. And the person behind me had the fucking nerve to be opening and closing.
Oh, yo, dude!
And I kept closing, and they would open it, and I'd be falling. I sleep because I'm just trying to kill the time. It's fucking 6 hours back from Florida, so I fucking just close it, and then I wake up and it's open. I'm like, what is this fucking person? And so of course I lean over to look, and it's a chick. So I can't say anything to her, son.
No, you cool. When she reaches her hand over, just grab it. Just give a little touch on it. Or just cough on it. Just take it.
That's the move right there. The cough on the hand move. That's the move. Because that's the thing. I feel bad. Like I feel bad trying to telling off a lady. It's
gotta give a pop out.
You do?
I mean, look, don't get me wrong, son. I've done it. I just feel guilty about it. You know what I'm saying? I still do it. but I like.
The story could have went different. She could have wrapped around with the hand and all that.
I know, right? Come across the other way. But what I wonder is, what do those people think in their fucking head? Like, where do they get their morality from that that's an acceptable thing to do?
It's entitlement. That's all that is. She's not used to fucking somebody telling her about herself. but I know what because that's happened to me a few times on a fucking plane. I hate that shit.
What have you?
Just close it. No, just close it.
I kept closing it.
I don't sleep on a plane. Like I don't sleep much on a plane. No matter how far I'm going, I'm usually just up. But I'll we'll sit there and go back and forth. I got a number of times. So I'll close it. We can keep doing that. I'll definitely wear them out.
You're committed to it.
I got 6 hours on the plane. We can do this all day.
But I just can't believe like that's the thing with me. Like, cause you know me, I don't like fucking touching strangers and shit. To get that close to me, like to get that close to another stranger to close a window like that, I wouldn't even think to do it, let alone it being rude. Mm-hmm. You know, and then of course you got those other motherfuckers right that are sitting next to you and fuck with the armrest. You know, they'll be like their forearm, and their upper arm be touching. I'm like, yo, why is he? So I'll just be like this, fucking. Because I don't want to touch these fools.
I claim that shit from the beginning. Like if I have the window seat or the aisle seat, even if I'm claiming that armrest, I'm putting it down and my arm's on both of those motherfuckers. I'm claiming you got to claim it immediately. That's
I know the problem was the guy got there first. The guy beat me to it.
Yeah.
He claimed him. He claimed it. Yeah, he fucking got me. But he had another guy with no problems touching a stranger. Just his upper arm rubbing my shoulder fucking every 20 minutes. I'm like, what are you doing, man? Like, it's like some.
That's what you got to do. Like the tenseness where you're like this the whole time.
Yeah, exactly, son. Fuck.
You don't do like random twitches, like just random twitch.
Yeah, just start bugging out. Remember that? Back in the day, son.
You gotta do a random twitch. I do it in the elevators. Anytime I'm in the elevator, people like get too close. I start twitching and stuff.
Just to freak them out. My favorite elevator move is still farting in the elevator, son. It's never not funny to me.
It's a classic move.
And you know, mine smell particularly bad, so I like to fart and then get out of the elevator and watch people get in. Just eat that shit.
I like to fart in the elevator and look at everyone else like they did.
Bastards.
Which one of these nasty motherfuckers did that?
At work, I used to get out the elevator and press all the floors before I got off.
He's that guy. I hate motherfuckers.
I hate that.
I hate stepping in the elevator and there's 6 floors pressed that I have to pass.
I gotta go somewhere, son. If I'm in an elevator, so I'm trying to get to a place. That's some shit like little kids do, son. How old are you, Prezy? What the fuck's up?
At work, I used to hold the elevator door open for people, and they wouldn't say thank you. So when I get off, I just press all the buttons.
At work, no wonder you don't work there anymore. Doing dumb shit like that to your boss.
The last movie's that job, I've seen somebody run for elevator. You just hit the closed door button.
I always hit the closed door
I
button.
never want anybody
to hide in the corner. I see them running, I just hide in the corner.
Oh yeah. So you can't see that shit.
Pressing that shit.
Well, my favorite is when you do the fake reach, like you're gonna hit the door open button, but you just don't push anything. Like, oh, sorry.
Oh man, just missed it.
Just missed it. Oh man. So what are you boys working on? You said you got some project going on right now, Jess?
Yeah, I've been working on a few projects. Today we're working on something else that he got going on. He's doing you want to speak on that? He's doing something called Park Bench Legends, and I'm working on some audio for him.
What's that? What's Park Bench Legends?
We basically having conversations with people that like come from the environment, come from the hood and stuff like that, and chose better.
Okay.
Everybody that's not doing the same street shit and all that stuff, they just chose to be use their talents otherwise. So we got like.
Is it going to be a podcast series?
No, it's just going to be a series. I'm not going to make it a podcast series.
It's video series.
Yeah,
okay.
It's video.
Yeah. Video series. And it's the way when he explained it to me, I was like, wow, it's basically gifted hood shit. That's what it is. It's just cats that fucking actually did something with themselves instead of just being degenerates.
Sit around.
Yeah, and kind of just telling their story. So today I'm going to help them chop up some of that audio, and we're just going to work on the audio part of that.
Nice.
So that's what we're doing today, not necessarily music. Yeah. But I've been working on a ton of music.
No, I know because I saw you release one song, but Prezy, you released an album not too long ago, right?
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Why don't you plug that? Oh Lord, right? I was listening to it in the car. What was it? Thursday before I flew out.
Did you hate it?
No, it's good shit. Son. It's dope because my brother made the beats. It's got to be, son. It's gotta be. The rhymes I could do without, but
I'll take a CD out the fella.
It's the instrumental version. I got you.
And what was the track you just released, Jess? I saw it on my Gmail. I didn't get a chance to listen to it.
It was a song called Remnants. Yeah, it was honestly just some random shit. Like I've been sitting on a bunch of songs because I've been working on this solo album for forever at this point. I literally keep making an album and then scrapping it and making another album and because I don't know. I'm going through my own shit with that. But that was one of the songs that was made in the process of that I liked and then I put it out there. It's going to make the album, but I just released it as a single. How often do you do that? Like, do you scrap? Like on your other album, you had 4 or 5 now. Did you like scrap those and start over again a bunch too, or what? Me and Prezy actually have an album that was scrapped before we even did the honors class thing because just finding that finding that chemistry, but also like I go back now and they're still good songs, but they're not like cohesive like that. And I'm glad that like we waited to get to that point. It's like anything else, right? Like you do a podcast with somebody, you record a few episodes so you find that groove and that chemistry. Yeah, for sure. It's basically that, but. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of songs that's been recorded and spent money into mixing and mastering and all of that shit. They never see the day of light. Why don't you put them out on like a separate album, like the lost tracks or some shit? Eventually it could be something like that. But for what I'm working on now, my next solo album is going to be The Most Gifted. That's something that like I just have like a certain. I guess, I don't know what you want to call it. Meanwhile, he scrapped what I thought was almost a complete album. It sounded crazy. He scrapped the whole thing and was like, I'm going to keep 2. I'm like, if it gets better than this, then I need to hear it too. It's been good. And it's funny, I was just, I had a cover that I worked on. I did the cover myself maybe like a year ago. And I was just talking to Saul the other day, and he has like a series of photos that he had sent me during like quarantine time. Just random shit. He was testing lighting in his house. And what I want to do moving forward is what I told him. Like, I don't need to really outsource shit anymore. Like, I want to, Farmer's Joint was done by Saul. Like, he takes dope photos. I want to use his photos. He's a good photographer. Shout out Saul. And he doesn't just take like one photo. He'll have like a series of shit that we could use for the whole rollout. Like, I have so much talent in house, like with my own brother, like with my network, with my brotherhood of dudes in my circle, that it's like there's no reason to really go outside and like get somebody to do a cover or get somebody to do this. We do everything. Save that fucking money too. I mean, because Saul, he just likes taking the photos, so it's no sweat off his back to do that. He just sent me the like the official files of the samples that I sent him because I showed him an idea and he was like, "Bro, that's dope. Like it'd be an honor for you to use them." I'm like, "Dog, I'll buy them off you." He's like, "You crazy? Like they're in your email already. Like, send." You know what I mean?" And I was just like, "Yo, it's so sick." But yeah, he's a fucking he's a great dude. He's a wild one. So he starts 100 projects at once, bro. The guy's remodeling his house, building
like a portable structure, drone weed. He's doing like 15, and he just had a new baby. He does like 100 fucking things at once. I don't know how he does it, son.
He just sent me pictures last night of his studio that he got set up, and he's like, "Yo, I just been working on lighting, fucking, just working on that." Like, and he's sending me pictures of like the baby and his wife and stuff, and he was like, "Yo, I've been fucking with lighting and doing this and that." And I'm just like, "Yo, that's fucking dope that you have the space to do that."
Oh,
shit.
he's got like an acre almost, like the house. Like there's like you could put another house on the lot that he's got. Yep. So I don't know. So you know him, he's gonna have to fill it up with shit. Build a whole new fucking house for himself.
He'll put a Waku shop out there.
Yeah, so I told him he should pull the Waku shop to just have a trailer, bring it over and sit it in the yard, and have that be his office. But yeah, I actually got a chance to see him a couple weeks ago when I was up in San Francisco. So shout out to Saul. Obviously, we had him on the podcast. Good ass time. But I wanted to ask you guys more about the music because I don't know how much time are you spending on it. Like, is it all of your day when you're not at work? Because I don't know what it takes to make a fucking track. I have no context as to how music is created.
I mean, it all depends what the fuck is going on in my life. Like right now, I've been working. You're working 40 hours a week. You get fucking 2 days off or whatever, and just trying to squeeze as much as you can in. When I come home from work, I'll try to squeeze some time in. Prez just had a fucking kid, so
congratulations, bro.
Appreciate you.
How long ago was that?
He about to be 4 months tomorrow.
All right. Well, congratulations. Better you than me, motherfucker.
Well, yeah, fucking just whenever you could get that time. And like, I always have to do something though, because that shit it's like the gym or like anything else that you like to do. Like, you're going to make time for it if you love doing this shit. So
yeah, that's true.
I try to squeeze in as much as I could. The beats, I'll do like sporadically or whatever. Like if I have time, boom, I'll get to some beats, try to knock some out. The writing is probably the most thing that you have to like carve out time for, because for me, that's a process. Like I want to clear everything out. I don't want my phone on. I don't want nobody over. I don't want to hang out with nobody that day. Like I want to dedicate time to just getting those thoughts together and writing. So that's probably the thing that takes the most time. And then he and I will link up, because if I'm not recording myself, he'll be here recording me. And that's it. Like I'll just record whatever.
So you actually sit down and write, and you just play the beat that you're going to rhyme over and over and over again as you write the shit out?
Yep.
Drive ourselves crazy and go tone deaf for a little while.
Yeah.
Damn. I wrote like that for comedy more frequently when I was first starting out, where like I'll sit down and go somewhere and write, and it definitely helps, but it's weird now that like I'm doing it. I've done it so long, like, so often. I feel like the funniest things just kind of like come up. Like you can't really, or I can't really force it. I can sit down and work out a joke. Like if I have the idea and the punchline and how I want to set it up, like that, I sort of practice on stage. I repeat the joke, and try and get the right beats to it and everything. But the initial idea, I find it sort of comes to me. I can't force it out of me.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like that with music writing.
With music, I think for me, it's the beat. Like once I hear the beat is going to dictate where the flow is going, what I want to say on it. So like I could think of lines all day throughout life, right? Like I could be at work, I could be on the track, I could be in the car, I could be anywhere and think of a line, but that line may not flow on whatever beat I plan on writing to. So I could write a line down that I think is dope and maybe refer to it if I'm looking for a line specifically. But if I sit with the actual beat, the beat's going to dictate the flow, the topic, everything. Like the beat for me, is always going to take me to where the song is going to end.
Yeah. Is it similar for you, Prez?
For me, it's more like the setting. Like being in the studio, it's easier for me to write in the studio because I start overthinking when I'm just at home playing it. Plus, I can't blast it crazy all damn night in my house.
Yeah.
With little one sleeping and all that. So, but yeah, like in the studio, it like everything's rumbling in here. You hear it. It feels, energy is just different. So it's easy.
And he'll take mad hours if you let him do it by himself. Sometimes you need him here because you need somebody to be like, yo, that's it. It's done. Like, just what else are you going to say? Like, let's just go. Let's just record it. And then when you go back to it later, it's because I always tell them, like, the worst case scenario is we'll record the shit, you hear it later, and you'll be like, I don't like it. We're not fucking with it. But you're not going to know that if you're sitting there overthinking it. Like, just write, record, and we'll revisit it in 2 days and see if it sounds as good as we thought as it sounded now.
We literally got the whole second album done, me writing it in the studio.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that was fun.
Yeah,
but that kind of makes sense to me, though, because I like just hanging out with other comics, bullshitting, is when I'll say something funny, and then I'll like, oh, I got to write that down. You know, because if they laughed, then it's like, that's going to work. You know, let's all write something down like that. So I guess it, like having that sort of energy of that creative energy around you helps. You know.
Yeah, and you're like pushing each other without really thinking about it too. Like when we do the honors class albums, it's probably the process is the most fun at that point because I know I'm making some shit. First, I'm figuring out how to balance both of our voices on whatever I'm making because I know the type of beats his voice will sound good on, what my shit will sound good. So I have to find that medium. He has more of a voice that like pierces through on certain beats that I wouldn't be able to do. My voice is deeper, so I may drown out on something that's perfect for him.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like finding that medium of what voices are going to work. And then when we write to this shit, it's just a lot more fun. And then it's also like, I know he's not going to come weak and vice versa. So like, we're like pushing each other for those lines. Yeah. And I know he's going to come. So like, you're stepping it up. And then when you listen to the album, you're like, oh, these dudes, they came with some shit. And it's because we're here with that energy. Like he said, we're capturing that moment. I don't like nothing to sit for too long. Yeah. Like I want to capture that moment right then and there and capture that energy because it's going to reflect on the record when people hear it back. It's true. Like, and it's always a reference point. It takes you back to, oh shit, we went here that day. We went to this restaurant. We drank a little bit of this, smoked a little of that. Now we're over here doing like, you can reflect the day when you hear the album later on.
The whole album too.
It's kind of wild though, because like you guys don't like. I can write all day, but I go out at night and tell the jokes and see if it works or not, see if it has any fucking legs at all, or if it's just bullshit and I gotta get rid of it. But you guys got to go through the whole process of recording it, and you guys then listen to it yourselves, and so you're the first audience. And it's the same way with jokes, right? I mean, like if I think it's going to be funny, then I'm only going to say something that I think is funny, you know. Yeah. But I get that immediate feedback. Is it difficult not to know what the audience reaction is going to be until like months later when it's all mixed up and mastered?
I always like to say I'm a fucking tastemaker. So if I think it's dope, I feel like other people are going to think it's dope. Okay, that's not like to look at that shit. It's just like, yo, that's what art is, right? Like it's subjective to whoever the fuck is seeing it. So if I hear this shit, I'm like, yo, I think this shit is dope. I feel like other people are going to think it's dope because we know what the fuck dope shit is.
Yeah, I guess that's a little bit different because like, some things that I think are funny, people think it's fucking offensive or rude or not funny at all. And I'll tell that fucking joke 8-10 times before I give up on it. I'm like, man, I don't know why they don't like this fucking thing. but your
Instagram will tell you otherwise, right? Like that's the whole thing. If you could imagine you could get your Instagram followers in a room at your shows. You'd have a hit show because they love all that nasty shit. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the ill shit about that. And that's why I always tell you, I'm like, yo, just focus on them. Like, it's good to be broad and all that, but like, focus on the people who fuck with you because they're always going to fuck with you.
Yeah.
They're never going to leave your side.
Yeah, and I think what I do on Instagram is a little bit different than what I do on stage because it's more of a performance on stage, and and like you said, I my stage act is definitely written for a broader audience than the shit I put on the internet. Because I'm playing Jeff's fans, Jeff's followers, you know, like, so I'm like, all right, I got, and there'll be, you know, not all of them are in their 30s to get a reference to Tinder. Some of them are 70 fucking years old, and what the fuck is Tinder? You know, like, so certain things you can't even bring up, you know. But it's definitely weird because even on Instagram, man, like I'll post something like this is going to be the shit, and it's like it does all right, and then some shit that I think is corny, I'm like, I got to post something today. Let me throw that one out. That one will go fucking crazy. I'm like, sometimes I miss the mark. Like I don't get. Something that I don't think is as good as other jokes they like more. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always fascinated by that. Like my disconnect between what I think they would like and what they actually like.
I mean, that happens to us with songs. Like we'll be like, yo, this is our favorite joint. And then it'd be a whole nother joint that everybody's going crazy
When I look at the streams, it's the song that we were almost going to scrap. And I was
we were unsure about this song.
Yeah, I was unsure about that one. And that was the one people liked the most.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
So speaking of tracks, what was your favorite track on Farmer's Joint?
Mine?
Yeah. Your personal favorite.
Oh, I don't know. All of them. Honestly, I can't pick one. I can't. Like that shit to me was the most complete body of work that I did, and it was received that way, and I'm glad of that. Like that was a moment. That was 2-3 months. That was 2 months in quarantine. That album. That's all that was. 2 months.
Because I was driving for Uber and I was listening to Prezy. And like, let me go back and listen to Farmer's Joint and Honors Class. And for just Farmer's Joint, because I remember I liked it, like, you know, I loved Oddfather first. Like, that was my favorite one. And then, oddly enough, just a year later, I'm listening. I was like, I think N95 is my favorite on the, you know, like, because it just keeps changing for me. And I don't know what you know, maybe my position has changed, or the way the filters that I'm hearing it through have changed. But I was just curious, for you, if you have like a favorite, because I definitely have favorite jokes and jokes that I hate that I still do because people love them.
Yeah, no, honestly, that project, like, there's other albums that I could say this one's my favorite. Maybe this one's my least
most complete.
That one, I like all. Like he says, Indica. I love that song.
Indica was great.
I love this song. Like, I have a love for that album as a whole, and it's perfect because it's like there's no fat on that. It's like I trim the fat.
What I liked about that album is you go top to bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a throwback. It's a throwback because remember back in the day, fucking Snoop Dogg would have DJ Easy Dick in the Jack Off Hour in between, like in the interludes, and each song flowed together. And that's listen to that album. I feel like it was a throwback to like that kind of thing where each song ended into the next song. So skipping it would fuck it up actually. Like you wouldn't get the full impact of the album if you didn't just go straight. If I would
have rearranged a song any other way, it wouldn't be that. Like I hit it perfect on there, and I don't know. And like I said, I can't even explain that. It just. And that was the way it was supposed to come out. Like I don't know why every song goes like that, but when I sequenced it that way. That was the way that felt good, and now listening back, if I go and try to listen to that album on shuffle, it's not gonna. It won't have.
That's what happened because I was listening to Prezy's album, and then I flipped over to that, and it just started shuffling. I'm like, no, I got to start from the top because I knew it was out of order. I was like, this isn't right.
Yeah, no. To me, even when I listen to Prezy's album, like I love doing shit like that because it allows me to just produce, and like I feel like. I'm coming off a Farmer's Joint from there, producing one for him, and I'm like, he needs to have his Farmer's Joint. Yeah. And even when I listen to that in sequence, I'm like, there's no other song I could have added or took away from that album for it to sound the way that it sounds. Like to me, I'm more like I feel very good on how I produced that album for someone else.
Yeah.
I want to do more. I want to do more shit like that.
What was your favorite on your new album, Prez? On Oh Lord.
Might be between Lessons and Government Name.
Oh, really? Because I really like Roy DeMeo. I love the name to start out with.
It was funny. Me and Callie were going down that rabbit hole. We went to fucking the Gemini Lounge and all of that shit in Brooklyn. We were driving around.
Oh my God.
And I was just like,
that's the place of fucking slaughterhouse. That's wild that people still live in that building, so they should have condemned it.
It's now a church.
What?
It's a church now. It's a Spanish church. It's
like
hilarious.
One of those Pentecostal joints where they hold up the rattlesnakes and shit?
Bro, it's fucking hilarious. But... We were riding around smoking weed that day.
Are you Puerto Rican? You Pentecostal? Son, am I insulting your family with this shit?
I have no idea what they are.
Because like, I don't know what my family is, but it ain't that.
Could you believe? I wish I believed in anything that powerfully that I would pick up a rattlesnake for it. You know what I'm saying? Like. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have any faith in anything that hard to be touching a fucking venomous snake.
Nah,
you got to be bugged out. And I'm surprised I don't get bit more often. To be honest with you, the way they fucking handle those things.
That's some crazy shit.
You think it's a scam and they just pull out the fangs so they look tough and shit? But they got shit in it.
You can't feel that confident every time, yo.
It's wild. I mean, you heard about that? Was I talking with you, Jesse? I think I mentioned to Chase. That Joel Osteen had the $600,000 on the walls of the church.
Yeah, I feel like that was an employee, bro. That might have been an employee trying to hide that shit. That was his retirement fund, and motherfuckers found that.
I mean, it is funny. It is odd that money that he reported stolen and got an insurance settlement for was found in the walls of his own church. But you make the argument. I mean, that guy's stealing what, $50, $100 million a year from the people that come in there. I mean, like, what's $600,000 to him?
A fucking jet, son. Yeah. You don't need $600,000. Like, you got jets. Like, that's what I'm saying. There's so many people who work in that place. That was definitely somebody who worked there who probably stole that money and hid it. Bro. And they lost their retirement right there.
Yeah, we believe in
the real asshole is the fucking dude who returned it.
That's right? What a fucking butt plug. Why would you return that money, son? That's your money now, son.
Fucking ass. He should have said God wanted him to have that.
What happened to finders keepers?
Yeah, right. That was for you, but he's an idiot, and he got nothing for it either. That was the fucked up part. They didn't give him shit.
No finder's fee, no sick. They just took the money. The church kept the money actually, which is hilarious.
No vacation. They didn't even give him vacation. Nothing.
Think about that, because like, yo, if you got caught with $600,000 in your car, the police are confiscating it. You're gonna have to prove where the fuck you got it to get it back. Because they found it in the church, the cops were like, "Oh yeah, you guys can keep it." So what? It's still stolen money. It's still evidence. You know, I'm like, what the fuck is that bullshit?
It's a scam. Joel Osteen's paying people.
I don't know who he was scared of, but that shit would have been a blessing. That's a lot of chalk that this is from God.
This is a blessing. It's definitely
what we're working for.
This is definitely a blessing.
How's the snowpocalypse over there? How much you guys get?
A lot. It's fucking nasty now because
a couple of days turns into mud.
Like pushed to the curb and fucking black snow at this point and just slush. It's disgusting. It's nasty out there.
Oh man,
we definitely got hit hard. Saturday was rough.
You were shoveling that shit out for mom?
Shoveling the stuff. Shoveling myself out of my fucking garage and all that shit.
Oh no. Dude,
yeah. Well, it was fucked up. I had to go to a funeral that morning. I couldn't miss that. Rest in peace to my man James, who just passed away. And I couldn't miss that funeral, so it was in the fucking
had no choice.
In the heart of the snow, fucking Saturday morning. I'm up early, shoveling my way out that shit to fucking drive to Bed-Stuy to make to this funeral home.
I'm surprised they didn't postpone it. It's not like he's going anywhere.
Shit was already plans were already made.
Sorry, I had to be done. Just I know.
It was a good one.
One day,
family was down. Shit, they just was like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
Oh no,
all right, what's still going on? They had like the whole what we're doing now, the Zoom call for all of that shit.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, there's a lot of people that died during the height of the pandemic that they just didn't have funerals for, which is real fucked up if you think about it. Like for people not to be able to grieve their lost ones, their lost loved ones, is pretty fucked up.
Yep.
And it's like a funeral. You're not like spitting in each other's mouth. Like, why can't you have that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to all be around the casket all together. Like, you can go up in groups and shit. Like, so I don't know why they fucking did that, but I don't know. It's wild. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting at my house at the window drinking tea, watching people kill themselves, shoveling snow while I'm warm.
People kill the homeless. That's one thing. That's one thing that the fucking definitely keeps the homeless in check in New York, son. Is that weather. Out here, the homeless are like sunning and shit on the freeway overpass. You know, it's fucking crazy.
Especially bright and early like that. It's fucking brick out there.
Our crackheads are homeless, are immune to things out here, so they just laid out on train stations.
It is pretty crazy when you think about the survival rate of a homeless junkie. Like I was in Chicago last week. It was fucking 6 degrees during the day. You know what I'm saying? It was like -4 at night. And they're out there. I was like, what are they doing, son? You know, they're like better than David Blaine. Remember when he put himself in a block of ice? They got no problem living like that. It's wild to me. But you were talking about somebody killing himself. Didn't some supermodel just jump out of a window in New York, son?
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know anything about it, but I seen it in the headlines.
That's got to be a terrible way to go, man. Because think about it, like
watching it all the way through, you can't even say no. You can't even say, forget it no more. Like on your way down, you can't say, I changed my mind.
That's the thing. You can't say you changed your mind. And you have time to think about it. Like if
everything happening.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you overdose on drugs on purpose, right? Like you're gonna be like you have time to think about it, but also you're gonna be passed out before when it finally happens. So it's not like you're gonna the whole way down. You're like fuck, you're trying to climb back in the windows.
That's the wrong way to kill yourself, though. Being a dude, because there's no guarantee that you're gonna die instantly. Like,
dude, there was that guy who jumped from fucking 9 stories, fell in a BMW, and lived.
That's fucking. That's terrible. He's a fucking idiot. Like,
so at that point, did he fail to successfully kill himself, or did he?
He didn't kill himself, which I think he was trying to. If he jumped from 10 stories, I mean, all you need to die is anything over like 55 feet could kill you. So 90 stories, 90 feet. So he definitely knew he was gonna fucking die jumping from that shit. But he landed on the hood of a BMW, blew out the BMW, fucked himself up, broke both his legs and shit. Cracked some vertebrae in his back. But he lived, and and now not only does he have a hospital bill, but he's got to pay for the BMW he fucked up. This guy's ass out.
Does he have any permanent damage?
I don't think so. No.
Permanent damage and paid this off?
No, he just got out of the hospital. I was just checking the news, looking for some source. Great. But fucking think about that. Like now he's just in debt. Like he's alive and now he's in debt. His shit just went from bad to worse. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Karma got a hell of a sense of humor, yo.
she's a real mean bitch.
I didn't say you could go yet.
God didn't even want it.
Nah, send that one back. Fuck that one.
Now he knows he really ain't shit. It's like God don't even want me.
That is tough.
I'm fucking garbage. Oh man! All right. Speaking of news, we just want to jump right into the news. Fuck it. Let's get into that. I know you guys got work to do. We're about 40 minutes in.
We're good, man. Whatever you want to do.
All right. This is great. So apparently Sean Penn said cowardly jeans lead men to wear skirts.
Oh, I read that.
Yeah, so
that told on El Chapo.
Sean Penn's a rat. So what is he talking? He's a coward. He's a fucking rat.
He told
what El Chapo was. The guy was out there like he was a news anchor.
Bro, the balls to turn in El Chapo, son. Like, does he think El Chapo won't have him killed too? You know what I'm saying? Like, his security detail must be tripled from whatever it was.
Yeah,
that's
he wanted to be a fucking hero instead of minding his business.
He's been in hiding since.
Yeah, he came out with this stupid article. But it said in two separate interviews this month, the two-time Academy Award-winning actor and Madonna's ex made comments bemoaning his perception that men are becoming more feminine. He said that I'm in the club that believes that men in American culture have become wildly feminized. I don't think that being a brute or having insensitivity or disrespect for women is anything to do with masculinity or ever did. But I don't think that in order to be fair to women, we should become them. Oof. There are a lot, I think, cowardly genes that lead to people surrendering their genes and getting on a skirt. He told the paper, I have these very strong women in my life who do not take masculinity as a sign of oppression towards them. Fair enough, son. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's a cowardly gene out there, but I do think dudes are being punished for behaving like men. Like, you know, like just being a man now seems to be like a sin, you know, bordering on a crime. You know, like I don't get why the term toxic masculinity. What about being masculine is toxic?
The fact that they can't be.
I don't know, son. They got there's a lot of shapeshifters out there these days and trend. But like if I said toxic femininity, that'd be the end. That'd be the end of my career. You know what I'm saying? Like
toxic femininity.
but there's got to if there is such a thing as toxic masculinity,
there's got to be both ways.
There has to be toxic femininity. There has to be. You can't. It can't just be the one. You know. But I mean, like, what do you guys think is creating a bunch of soft guys these days?
It's a lot of women just complaining about the kids they're raising because they just complaining about men, right? But it's also women raising these men, so it's like, what are you really complaining about?
That's a good point. I made that point about millennials a long time ago. Fucking, because baby boomers always complain, oh, the millennials are lazy and entitled. I'm like, who the fuck raised them? You did. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on you. You were a shitty parent. You made a shitty kid. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, they're going to cancel Sean Penn now for saying that? Is that like not PC for him to say that?
Which is crazy because Sean Penn is like some of the leftist leaning wokest fucking celebrities in Hollywood. I mean, he famously went down and was like wading in the floodwaters in Haiti after that massive earthquake, saving people's lives and shit. No. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got
that video's crazy.
Yeah,
about that.
Did he have like a shotgun or some shit?
Yeah, bro. He was like rowing a boat in a river and shit. Like, bro, he got like crazy brownie points for that, and they're still coming after him. But I don't think he's wrong. It's like there's nothing wrong with being a man, and being a man doesn't make you an asshole. Assholes are assholes.
Yeah.
Like men don't have an exclusive right to be an asshole. It's like women. There's a bunch of asshole women too. Like people are just shitty. People are people, and people tend to be shitty sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, but to put that on a guy, especially, it's kind of fucked up. Like when I think about it for like younger kids, like think about some 14-year-old kid who's going through puberty, trying to figure out himself, and he has to read this shit, to saying that being a man makes you an asshole, or makes you toxic in some way. It makes you, you got to behave weak to be palatable to women.
Look at the people that are writing and saying this shit, right? Like, it's just like, if we start taking deep dives into people's fucking childhoods and upbringing, we sit there and say, oh, it makes sense you feel like this and say this shit. You had no friends. Nobody liked you, and now we gotta, it falls on us. We gotta deal with your bullshit because nobody liked you.
But even those people that even the people that weren't popular when I was growing up, they turned out into normal fucking functioning human beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're putting hang-ups on kids just because people don't want to be inconvenienced at all. That's what it really boils down to, I think. Toxic masculinity means, I don't want to deal with men's bullshit. Like I want what I want and I want what you have too. Like I want everything for me and fuck you. It's kind of what it's saying. Fuck you and your rights. I want everything, and that's not helping anybody
at all.
I don't know, son. People are why not? Sean Penn's over here fucking. I honestly, I can't believe El Chapo didn't have him killed because I mean he was already going to jail for life. Well, what's one more body? I mean the guy's killed what 200,000 people.
That we didn't hear about that didn't make that happen.
I'm sure that's why we ain't seen.
I'm sure he got a few scares.
Yeah.
I'm sure he got a few scares.
Because I remember, dude. I remember back in like 2015, 16 when Trump was running for president, he had trashed El Chapo's son on Instagram or on Twitter, and El Chapo, put out a contract on Trump, and they tripled his Secret Service detail, tripled it. Serious. And Sean Penn's over here taking some fucking news anchor to go meet El Chapo. Like, guy's bugging, son.
That is mine. playing hero.
Fuck Sean Penn.
What is he doing?
Fuck Sean Penn. Bottom line, fuck Sean Penn.
He tried to get rid of another masculine man.
Yeah, let's cancel Sean Penn for trying to defend men. Here, you'll like this, Jesse. Elon Musk offered a Florida teenager $5,000 to delete a Twitter account tracking his jet. It wasn't enough. This is great. Jack Sweeney, a 19-year-old from Florida, rejected a $5,000 offer from Elon Musk to delete his Twitter account that tracks the billionaire's private jet. Elon's jet has over 150,000 followers and uses a bot that Sweeney developed to monitor Musk's flights. The feed then tweets out where and when the plane takes off and lands and the duration of each trip. The college freshman has developed about a dozen other flight bot accounts that track the travels of high-profile tech titans, including Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos. This kid's a fucking genius, son.
Jesus.
So he offered him $5,000 to help prevent crazy people from tracking his flight. Sweeney countered, asking for $50,000, saying he could use the money to pay off college loans.
He got it.
Yeah, son. But I think he didn't go high enough.
Yeah, for sure.
He only wants 50 G
for sure. If you got that type of technology and ability, there's no way I'm not telling you the rest of my life should be taken care of.
Yeah.
But I love the fact though that like this kid obviously all these tech companies have all our data and they know what we're up to. I love that he turned it on and says like, all right, now I'm going to track you motherfuckers who run these companies. And he's like, no. Here's $5,000. Don't do that. It's like, get the fuck out of here, man. And also, how big of a fucking bitch is Elon Musk that he's not going to offer him $500,000? He's got the money for it, and he got a security detail. The fuck does he care who's tracking him? Saying he should have an army around him. The guy's worth $200 billion.
50 cents.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, exactly. According to his money, it was 50 cents.
50 cents.
It's 50 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
No way.
That's crazy. That's disrespectful.
It's actually worse than that. Fucking because I read an interesting fact the other day that $88,000 is the equivalent of $1 to Jeff Bezos as to an average American. So like you or I spending $1, $88,000 to him. So $88,000 is equal to $1 to him. So it's got to be similar for Elon Musk. So for him to offer the kid $5,000, he really offered him a fucking nickel. You know what I'm saying? Like, disrespectful. What would you have asked for?
I want at least $5 million because he needs that. He needs me out of there.
I don't know what I would ask for exactly.
I would have gone $1 a follower.
That's what. Yeah, I want some type of royalty off it. I want the money to keep coming in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. $1 a follower until you take it down. So and now that people are writing about it, there's more followers. So every day that Elon waits to pay this guy this fucking money, the cost goes up.
That's on that page and all of that.
Well, I'd contact you to negotiate that contract. Get us right.
Yeah, $1 a follower, and the longer you take, the bigger the follower basically. So you better hurry the fuck up, bro. You know what I'm saying? That would have been the way I did it. Fuck that shit. No, I mean, it's wild. I think it's just disrespectful that he even offered so little.
And he did this to other people too, or just him?
No. So he's done this to Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and like 8 other billionaires. So he's got a little extortion racket going. Yeah. So if Elon kicks him 50, that's the going rate to come down off of this guy's Twitter.
Don't be surprised if this kid gets fucking driven off of a highway in a few days.
That's the other thing too.
He fell off a cliff somewhere, and it's like I don't know what happened. He was drunk driving.
That's the other thing too. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. What's it going to take for Elon Musk to have this guy killed? I mean, I'm sure he's got people he can call up to get this guy removed from the situation.
100%. They know where that kid lives. Everything right now. They know exactly. They're tracking him.
Oh yeah, they publish his full fucking name and what college he goes to.
Yeah.
That kid's fucked.
Good luck to him.
Good luck to him. Yeah, let's see if he lives. Let's see if he makes it through the week. What do we got here? The 10 worst foods for your health. Let's see if you can guess let's see if you guess any of the top 3. What do you think the worst food for your health is?
Worst food?
The worst?
The worst food for your health.
Bacon gotta be up there somewhere.
Damn, you nailed it, son. Bacon is number 1.
Yeah, that shit is
gotta be there.
No good.
But guess what number 2 is? Turkey bacon, son.
Turkey bacon, number 2?
I heard turkey bacon was actually worse than regular bacon. I used to hear that.
High sodium.
Yeah,
well, it's got all that. It's got all those like preservatives and shit in it that cause cancer.
Yeah.
Number 3, fried foods. You had that one, Jess.
Yep.
Potato chips, added sugars. Yeah, but what I'm surprised by though is like how much of this shit we eat on a regular basis. all 10 bro, all 10 of these, like 8 of them are breakfast foods. It's like, breakfast sausage, processed meats, bread, fried food. But all this stuff, like, it's odd that our diet, it consists, like the American diet consists of almost exclusively shit that we're not supposed to be eating.
The fucking pyramid in school used to tell you to eat cheese and drink milk. They told you that was good for you.
Nah, well, the food pyramid told you cereal was what you have most of during the day. Remember, like grains and cereal. So could you imagine, like, just eating 3 bowls of fucking, of Fruit Loops a day? Like, oh yeah, cereal.
Fucking cow milk. It's disgusting, son. It's like, it's terrible. It's no good.
Oh, you don't like cow milk, son? I still fuck with cow milk.
Nah, I haven't drank that shit in years, bro. Cow milk, no.
Regular milk in at least 3 years.
What? What are you guys, both a bunch of vegan pussies? What's going on over here?
No, I just don't fuck. That shit builds up too much mucus in your body.
I can't call myself a vegan, but
yeah, not a vegan, but that I don't know. I haven't fucked with milk in a while. The most I fuck with dairy wise is like eggs once in a while, but I even slow down on the eggs. I used to eat a lot of fucking eggs.
Eggs aren't dairy, and as far as I know, eggs are the only protein that it's like the cheapest form of protein you can get. And if you, that's one thing I always tell vegans, because I have some vegan friends like, oh, I don't eat eggs. I'm like, chickens lay eggs no matter what. Like, so if you're not eating those eggs, you're wasting food. It's fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not about the environment if you're wasting food like that. That's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not gonna eat them, feed them to the homeless, because someone will eat them. They're fucking eggs, And
I found out recently I'm allergic to fucking egg whites.
How the fuck are you allergic to egg whites? Casein, I guess. The protein in it.
Fucking allergy panel done not long ago, and that shit told me I was allergic to egg whites.
That's crazy, son. I can
eat the yolk, but not the whites, and I'm like, that's retarded.
That's the worst part, son. I mean, like,
exactly. It's high cholesterol. I can get high cholesterol, but I can't have no fucking egg whites. In my body, I was like, all right.
Yeah, man. I was thinking about that too, like about like environmentalists and vegans and shit. I had some, like a friend of mine, I was at their house and they were like, oh, put that in the recycling. I'm like, all right, but I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, you got like fucking 3 kids. Like I'm doing more for the environment by not shitting out more kids. You know what I'm saying? Like in some ways, like, you like, oh, we got an electric car. It's like, yeah, but you got fucking 2 babies in it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like your carbon footprint is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a carbon footprint of 1 person. You got a carbon footprint of 4. You know what I'm saying? Like you fucked up. Like don't come to me with your stupid fucking electric car. Like you're better than me. That's the other thing too. The electric cars, they get energy from somewhere, and most of the electricity in this country comes from burning coal. So instead of running on gasoline, your car's technically running on coal. So how much better is it really?
Yeah.
And where do all those batteries end up? The ones in the electric cars. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be fucking floating in the ocean? Like, those batteries got to go...
Where those fucking old iPhones end up. New Jersey. Like, where do those things go?
Bro,
where do those Motorola flip phones go from years ago?
I know, right, son? Well, I was telling people about... Because they have the fucking paper straws out here. I'm like... Oh, we're worried about the straws in the ocean, but there's 2 trillion masks now from COVID. All these fucking disposable masks floating around in
it. Straws, bro. I hate them. I never want it. It's disrespectful. Somebody tries to give them to me. I hate them.
Because you can also just pop the lid off and drink that shit. Instead of giving me a straw that's not going to work and turn into a fucking wet paper in my Diet Coke, just give me and I'll just pop the top off and drink this shit. Like I don't understand. Like when did our lips not become useful? It's like everyone's walking around no lips and shit. We need straws.
It's true.
People are wilding out, man. I don't know. The environmental thing fucks me up because obviously I care about the planet surviving because I'm living on it. But I also think people pretend to give a shit and they really don't in the data because obviously the day-to-day actions prove otherwise. And 2, I don't think I said this on the podcast. So I don't think we're going to stop this freight train from rolling, son. I mean, there's too much garbage in the environment. That's it. I think we've passed the point where we could bring it back.
It was just 30 degrees in Florida the other day, son.
It was fuck. Yeah, I mean, you just got 2 feet of snow up there. Shit's getting crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let me get one more article for you fools, and we'll call it. Keep it tight. Oh, he's this idiot. We'll talk a little bit about the metaverse. A gamer breaks his neck while wearing a virtual reality headset.
Next.
A German gamer has broken his neck while wearing a virtual reality headset after he moved too intensely. Doctors claim the 31-year-old's repetitive.
How weak was he?
That's what I'm saying, son. That his head couldn't hold. It couldn't hold up a pair of glasses, son. So it broke his neck. This motherfucker needs to hit the gym. It said doctors claim the 31-year-old's repetitive movements led to neck being damaged before part of the bone finally cracked. The man went to the hospital after experiencing piercing pain in his shoulders. He cracked his C7 vertebrae. Researchers said the unidentified man's injury resembled one seen in runners. Runners? Why would the runners have this fucking problem? They seem to get exercise. I don't know. I guess it was a stress fracture that turned into a real fracture, but it fucked him up. And
what was he doing in the metaverse?
Runners got weak necks too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they're strong legs and weak necks.
Yeah, exactly.
Not working on that upper body, son.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you ever see like a real distance runner? Like their legs are 3/4 of their body.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird. It's like God cut them off at the nipples and just attached them to their. It's fucked up, looking like a gazelle and shit. Have you guys fucked with the metaverse at all?
You know who put me onto that shit? Mel. Mel put me onto that shit before years ago. He had one of those VR things in his house, and he has a video of me of fucking. I was playing some bank robbery game, and I'm in a bank going crazy, son. I'm ducking behind shit. I'm on one knee in his living room. I gotta find this video. It was crazy. It was some fun shit, but it's definitely fucking trippy, son. And I was smoked out of my mind. He had me on a roller coaster on some game, and at one point I had to throw the fucking goggles off. I was like, yo, this is too much, bro. It's like making me nauseous playing this shit.
I remember I tried the one that Acom had. That little roller coaster game. And I feel like, it's definitely a cool experience, but you can definitely keep your head in your head that this is not real, so don't go too fucking wild. Look, don't. I'm not gonna get nauseous, because I know I'm sitting on a couch, not actually in the fucking roller coaster. But they have those like haptic suits now, where you can like put them on, and then they have like these. It's weird. It's like a waist restraint, and you go on like this infinite running treadmill. So you can actually feel like you're moving around in that little world.
That's too much. You see, they always got to take shit to the next level. I just like it simple where if shit gets real, I just got to pop it up off my eye real quick and realize I'm in a fucking living room.
They got that shit in VR world. I went to that shit. They had some shit like they got a board and you walk across it like you're walking the ledge of a building.
Oh, like, no, I'm not.
I took that shit off like, nope.
So I just heard Dana White recently on a podcast. He was talking about he's coming out with his first UFC event in the metaverse where users are actually able to walk around the arena. It's going to be like some whole wild experience.
They got the basketball like that already.
You know what? I will say as far as good uses of it, obviously games are popular, but sporting events, like if you could pay like not a full price ticket, like, whatever, $5 to go sit courtside of the Lakers, that would be dope.
They have that.
Or they could put the fucking the cameras in the helmets, be on the field with the fucking Tom Brady and the Bucks or whoever. Like that could be ill.
They need fucking porn in the metaverse, bro.
VR porn was like the first thing to come.
Yeah, that was the first. Asians ain't speaking beat on that one.
No, but I'm talking about like full body. They need to take that to the next level.
Oh, you need a fleshlight attached to
it. Big bread on that. I guarantee somebody out there spent big bread.
I told you. I thought it was going to be the sex robots, but I think it's just going to be virtual sex now. They're just going to get you a fleshlight that attaches to the goggles, and you stick that shit on your joint, and
I sent you.
And that's going to be that's going to be it.
Out there who was spending fucking 10, 20 grand on those robots. There's a whole documentary about these dudes, and they got them fucking set up in their house, and they talk to you, and they listen to you. They listen to your problems. It's fucking nuts, bro. There's a whole world of that shit.
I believe it. As much money as fools spend on OnlyFans when they can see hardcore pornography anywhere on the internet. For free, yeah. They'd rather spend $11 a month to see their neighbor's wife's pussy.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
I'm not paying for unprofessional pussy.
Also, if you just saved up for a couple months, you could just buy a real hooker. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to see some. They're not that expensive. It's not that prohibitive. You know, like, $200-300 will get you someone in your house. I'm sure. Like, she might not be the hottest girl in the world, but she'll show up. You know what I'm saying? She'll actually be there, and we'll just text you in the DM on OnlyFans. Oh, dude, I know guys that have paid to have their own dick rated by a chick. It's ridiculous.
Rated?
Like they pay the chick money to send a dick pic to her, and then she sends back a rating.
Oh, a rating? I thought you said rated. Oh, that's crazy.
And what do they get out of that?
They get lower self-esteem.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man, but it's wild. I know a girl who does. She makes a good bit of money. She's making like tens of thousands a month doing it, and she's like, yeah. And what's crazy too is I was telling somebody else this, but they don't actually. All these OnlyFans girls, like the popular ones, they have management companies that do it now. So you're not even talking to the girl.
Yeah.
Like she'll go in, shoot her week's worth of shit in one day, and then she'll leave, and they'll be the ones putting it up, texting all the messages, responding all the DMs. Like they don't even fuck with it. So you're not even talking to them anymore.
Rest in peace to all the old school pimps.
Yeah, right.
These hoes are managing themselves now. Shit is crazy. Yes. They got whole management corporations behind them and shit. It's fucking wild, son.
Rest in peace to all the old school pimps out there. You gotta hang up your platform shoes with the goldfish in them.
They don't gotta be on the track no more. They're on the fucking timeline now.
Yeah. Why call it a timeline when you're just really running the tracks?
It's just fucking space age pimping, son.
I know. That's the other thing I said. I've said that before. It's because when OnlyFans was, remember they were about to cancel having porn on there, and they realized, wait a minute, that's 95% of our profits. But in my mind, I was like, during the pandemic, because I know like these women their OnlyFans money went through the roof because all these guys are sitting around jerking off, have nothing else to do, and I was in my mind, I was like, this has got to be closing the gender pay gap. You know what I'm saying? It can't be 70 cents on the dollar when these women are taking 100% of these guys' money and not giving any back. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
OnlyFans is doing more for the women's pay equality than any fucking social movement I've ever heard of. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the pink pussy hat. OnlyFans is leveling the playing field. You know?
That's funny.
It's just the facts, bro. Just the facts.
Hoes came up.
The hoes came up. All right, guys. We're at the hour. You guys want to plug whatever you got coming out next?
Just my Instagram now. You can find everything I got going on there at GEEDUBS. Yeah, and giftedhus.com. You can always find everything on that.
That's right. I got to get myself a website. I've been talking about it for far too long. People are asking me for my dates, and I keep going to fucking text them one by one. But I'll talk to you about that offline sometime. Prezy, what do you got?
At Lord_Prezy, LORD_PREZY. And giftedhus.com. Find everything there.
Yeah, man. Check out O-Lord. Check out the honors class. Check out Farmer's Joint if you haven't already. Actually, the honors class is what plays us out. So you guys will be listening to that right now as we're getting out of here.
No. What I want to do is, because we're going to call this the Sean Penn episode. I'm going to send you a song by Netta that I produced, and it's called Sean Penn. And I'm going to send it to you so you can play it at the end of this podcast.
So I'll play Sean Penn. Sean Penn will play us out.
Yeah. Well, fuck it. We'll do that. I'm working on that album that I'm producing. That's probably the next thing I'm going to be releasing. An album that I'm producing for Netta, but I'm also featured all over the album.
Nice.
It's called Another Cold Case. And you'll hear one of the songs that are going to be on that album at the end of this podcast.
Excellent. And of course, G-Dubs does all the music for the show, the intro, the outro. We've changed the songs 1,000 times. I'm sure when I get some new work out, I'll put some new stuff in the back to play us out. Obviously, you guys are Netta and Sean Penn coming out right now. But definitely check out all their work. If you like hip-hop, you're going to love that shit. But that's it for this week, guys. Nice and tight hour because we got shit to do. But I love you guys. Thanks for checking in. Let's check you guys next week. Peace.
Peace, bro.
Peace.
All right.
I thought you never asked, you thought I'd never last. Just ask the Moyo that I shot in the ass. He was strapped like me, but he wasn't as fast. And he didn't learn his lesson and eventually passed. So ask the wop that I shot in the leg. I didn't account for leverage when I aimed for the head. I took shots at his crew, but I was gunning for dread. God must really love you, cause you should have been dead. Ask the coward that got shot on the Ave. I thought that he was gully, but the nigga was ass. Said he would drop the charges if I gave him some cash. I'll put his ass 6 feet under, have him pushing up grass. Just ask the hitters that were running with team. Ephraim got hit, now he walks with a lean. I could still hear him scream as he ran to the D's. I'll put his thoughts on the sidewalk, know what I mean? Ain't nothing fictional, the facts are compelling, nigga. Dudes are snitching, they telling, they showing Penn and niggas. To the Penn is where they sending niggas. And niggas wanna tell, so the hell is where I'm sending niggas. Ain't nothing fictional, the facts are compelling, nigga. Dudes are snitching, they telling, they showing Penn and niggas. To the Penn is where they sending niggas. And niggas wanna tell, so the hell is where I'm sending niggas. You thought hard, you thought long, you thought wrong. You coulda, woulda, motherfuckers on that same song. I love the hustle, I flex the muscle, I'm headstrong. I wish you would, my problem solved was a trade long. Just ask some ballers laying low in the cut. If I didn't catch a drop and put the Glock to his gut, then I try to pull the trigger, turn him inside out. But God must really love him cause the clip fell out. So ask some cats that decided to chase. I hit the fucking glass, but I was charging in his face. No time for arguing, no pleading with the case. The shot fires, pop ties, and screeching in the place. Son like Enyo, you thumbing on the beat. I'm like a DJ, how I'm cutting on these streets. I already did the time, so I'm not giving a fuck. I'm about to write a rhyme about the niggas I cut. Ain't nothing fictional, the facts are compelling, nigga. Dudes are snitching, they telling, they showing Penn and niggas. To the Penn is where they sending niggas. And niggas wanna tell, so the hell is where I'm sending niggas. Ain't nothing fictional, the facts are compelling, nigga. Dudes are snitching, they telling, they showing Penn and niggas. To the Penn is where they sending niggas. And niggas wanna tell, so the hell is where I'm sending niggas.
Where's the broadcast, you bits?